The upcoming iPhone 18 Pro Max is already shaping up to be one of Apple's most expensive iPhones to build, with major implications for pricing, design, and overall user experience. Early supply chain leaks suggest that the bill of materials bomb for the iPhone 18 Pro Max, 12 gigabytes plus 1 terabyte, will rise by nearly $300 compared to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This sharp increase in production cost is being driven primarily by three key components: memory, Apple's next generation 2 nanometers chipset, and camera upgrades. First, memory is expected to be the single biggest contributor to the BOM surge. The jump to 12 gigabytes RAM and up to 1 terabyte of storage, coupled with higher prices for advanced memory modules, is putting substantial pressure on Apple's component budget. As apps, games, and on-device AI features become more demanding, Apple clearly appears to be prioritizing performance and multitasking capabilities, even if it means paying significantly more at the component level. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is rumored to feature Apple's newest 2 nanometers SoC with cutting-edge packaging technology. Moving to such an advanced manufacturing node dramatically boosts performance and efficiency, but is also extremely costly. The combination of next-gen process technology and complex packaging is expected to be the second largest driver of the increased BOM, as Apple pushes to keep the iPhone's A series chip well ahead of the competition, especially for AI graphics and battery optimization. Interestingly, not every part of the phone is getting more expensive. The display and several other components may actually cost less than those on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, likely due to maturing display technologies, supplier competition, and scale efficiency. That said, the camera system will still see a slight cost increase. This is reportedly tied to newer camera technologies, potentially involving improved sensors, upgraded lenses, or advanced image stabilization that enhances low-light performance, zoom capabilities, and overall image quality. From a pricing perspective, these higher production costs mean Apple is expected to adjust retail prices more aggressively on the higher capacity models. Rather than applying a flat increase across the entire lineup, Apple is rumored to be planning different price jumps depending on storage configuration. In particular, large capacity versions, like the 1 terabyte iPhone 18 Pro Max, could see the biggest hikes, as Apple aims to avoid losing gross profit on these premium variants. Even with an average retail price increase of around $200, early analysis suggests that the iPhone 18 Pro Max may still deliver a slightly lower gross margin than the iPhone 17 Pro Max in 2025. In other words, Apple appears ready to sacrifice a bit of margin to maintain its technological lead and to offer more advanced hardware, especially in memory and processing power. iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max design rumors, thickness, alongside cost and pricing leaks. New rumors are painting a clearer picture of the physical design of the iPhone 18 Pro series, and it looks like Apple may be moving away from the ultra-thin obsession of the past. Multiple leakers claim that the iPhone 8 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max will be thicker than their predecessors, but the exact numbers are still being debated. According to Weibo leaker Fixed Focus Digital, the iPhone 18 Pro lineup could be around 2 millimeters thicker than the iPhone 17 Pro models. Since the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max are both 8.75 millimeters thick, this rumor would put the iPhone 18 Pro and 18 Pro Max at roughly 10.75 millimeters in thickness, noticeably chunkier in the hand and pocket. On the other hand, well-known tipster Ice Universe has reported that the iPhone 18 Pro Max may come in closer to 9 millimeters, which would represent a smaller but still tangible increase over the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This discrepancy suggests that Apple could still be finalizing design details, or that different prototypes and measurements are circulating among leakers. Adding further complexity, a report from Macworld claims that the main body thickness of the iPhone 18 Pro and 18 Pro Max will actually remain unchanged at 8.75 millimeters. In this version of events, the extra thickness people will notice would come not from the frame itself, but from an enlarged camera bump. The camera island could protrude further this year to accommodate larger sensors, improved optics, or more advanced stabilization hardware. while leaving the frame and body dimensions largely untouched. These conflicting reports ultimately point to two possibilities. Either the entire chassis is getting thicker, or the footprint remains similar while the camera bump grows more prominent. If Apple does opt to increase overall thickness, many users will see that as a fair trade-off for longer battery life and better thermals. If the bump alone is thicker, it suggests Apple is aggressively prioritizing camera performance while trying not to disturb the core hand feel too much. iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max weight increase thickness isn't the only physical change on the table. The iPhone 18 Pro lineup is also expected to be heavier than the iPhone 17 Pro series. Leaker Instant Digital claims that the iPhone 18 Pro Max will weigh around 240 grams, a detail that has been echoed by Ice Universe on Weibo. For comparison, iPhone 16 Pro Max, around 227 grams. iPhone 17 Pro Max, around 233 grams. iPhone 18 Pro Max, rumored around 240 grams at S, a steady climb of more than 10 grams over 2 generations. While 7 grams from 17 Pro Max to 18 Pro Max might not sound like much on paper, in day-to-day use, some users will feel the difference, especially with one-handed use or prolonged content consumption. There are no concrete numbers yet regarding the weight of the smaller iPhone 18 Pro, but based on the design and component changes, it is also expected to be heavier than the iPhone 17 Pro, which weighs roughly 206 grams. Extra weight often correlates with larger batteries, more robust camera systems, and more complex internal structures meant to improve durability or thermal management. For users who prioritize battery life, camera quality, and performance over absolute lightness, this shift may be welcome. However, the combination of increased thickness and weight could make the iPhone 18 Pro models slightly more challenging for people with smaller hands, especially when you factor in the already large screen sizes and wide body dimensions of modern Pro devices. No black color for iPhone 18 Pro. One of the more surprising and controversial parts of the iPhone 18 Pro leak cycle involves color options specifically. The continued absence of a black or dark gray model. The iPhone 17 Pro introduced a color lineup focused on brighter and more distinctive finishes: cosmic orange, deep blue, and silver, with no traditional black or deep gray variant. That decision was unpopular among many buyers who prefer a more classic, understated, or professional look. Early rumors about the iPhone 18 Pro suggested that Apple would reintroduce a darker option with 4 proposed colors: dark cherry, light blue, silver, and black. This initially reassured fans, hoping for a return to something closer to space, black, or graphite. However, a newer leak indicates that Apple may have changed course. According to the latest report, the iPhone 18 Pro will launch in just 3 colors: dark cherry, light blue, and silver, completely omitting black once again. If this information is accurate, the iPhone 18 Pro lineup would mark the 2nd consecutive year without a black or dark gray Pro model. This decision may be tied to Apple's broader design language for this generation, perhaps emphasizing bright, saturated colors and polished finishes, or to manufacturing choices related to the new materials or coatings being used on the Pro chassis. From a branding standpoint, Apple might also be aiming to clearly distinguish Pro models from other iPhone lines through their unique color palettes. Still, the lack of a black option will almost certainly be disappointing for a large portion of users who see black or dark gray as the most versatile, timeless, and case-friendly choice. It may also push more buyers towards cases and skins to achieve the look they actually want. Conclusion taken together, these leaks suggest that the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max will be more expensive for Apple to produce, largely due to upgraded memory and a new 2 nanometers SoC, potentially more expensive for consumers, especially on higher capacity models, as Apple adjusts pricing to protect margins. Thicker and heavier, at least perceived as such, due to either a bulkier chassis, a more pronounced camera bump, or both. Further optimized for performance, battery life, and camera capabilities, as reflected in the design trade-offs offered in a limited range of colors that may, again, exclude any shade of black or dark gray. Continuing a polarizing design trend, For power users and enthusiasts, these changes may be justified by the promise of better performance, larger batteries, and more advanced camera hardware. For others, the combination of higher prices, more weight, and the lack of a black option could be a reason to hold on to an existing iPhone 17 Pro or wait for future generations.